So, great excitement here at the shop. We've received the most fabulous deal for all our customers. I don't know who of you are all familiar with Ranger Archival ink pads. So when I first started scrapbooking more than 15 years ago, the first ink pad that I bought was an Archival jet black. Okay, so in the following years, Ranger actually, they kind of increased the color range, and they of course then released these jumbo ink pads. Now this palette of this bundle is absolutely gorgeous. I had to just get one for myself before they all fly off the shelves, so to speak. But I just wanted to share with you guys why I love this ink pad. Okay, so first of all, it's not a distress ink. Okay, oh, just look at that. Just look at that, big and juicy, absolutely beautiful. Sorry, inks make me very excited. So it's a big and juicy ink pad, and I'm actually going to work on this piece of paper. This was just a sample of what we did for the Kit Club this month, and I've got a cute little stamp here somewhere that I want to use as a sample, but I have no idea what I did with it, so I'm just going to use this one. Okay, it's a fabulous Bo Bunny distressed stamp set. All our Kit Club members received this in their boxes. We might have some leftovers anyway. So first of all, this ink is a brilliant stamping ink, and your ink pads won't get contaminated because it is a linen pad. Okay, so that's my finger, but just look at that. I don't know if you can see the crisp detail. Okay, so it truly stamps absolutely beautifully. If you've got stamp sets that have a lot of detail, I remember many years ago, I'm actually going to grab one of my wooden stamps here. So this was a Santa Rosa, I think this was a Hero Arts stamp. Absolutely beautiful stamp, lots and lots of details on this. Okay, so I always tell the ladies that you need to take the ink pad to the stamp when you stamp, but when you have a huge ink pad like this, you can actually literally ink up your stamp by taking it to the pad. Okay, so currently I'm working with cobalt here, and sorry, I'm into multiple color stamping now because of the Kit Club, and I can see I've got the ocean here, so I'm kind of going to just try to get a little bit of blue in there, and just for fun I'm going to do a blob over there. So this is me just stamping randomly. Now I used to make cards many moons ago, and sometimes I do miss making cards. The golden rule when you want to get a very good impression when you're stamping is to stamp either on a stamp mat or a couple of magazines, just to give you some give underneath the stamp. Okay, and let's hope for the best. And because this is a big wooden stamp with lots of detail, I want to get a good impression. Now I'm not rocking, okay, I am pressing. And look at that. So you've got that subtle hint of the mixture of colors, but the detail is absolutely crisp. I want to assure you that you cannot achieve this detail with a distress ink, maybe with a distress oxide. But apart from Tucaniko's Mementos, even with Aversa Magic, you're going to get a little bit of a blur. And then, of course, with the Stay-Ons and the VersaFine Clears, they will stamp as detailed as these archival ink pads. Okay, so that's as far as stamping goes. I hope you can see how wonderfully detailed this stamp ink pad stamps. Okay, so what else can this ink pad do? Well, it is not water soluble. So if I'm going to take this ink and I'm going to do that, and I now want to add some water, absolutely nothing's going to happen. Okay, because it is not a water soluble ink. I cannot, for instance, put it on my craft sheet, mist it with water and think that I'm going to be making a splat. It's not going to work. But it is a permanent waterproof ink, and you can also use it on fabric. Okay, which is why it is so popular and versatile. Can you blend with this ink? Yes, indeed you can. So you are just going to use the normal blending method. Just look at that. Okay, it's a wonderfully blendable ink, and of course it is permanent once it sits there. So let's use a little bit of purple here. Oh, I love these colors. You know, purple is always kind of a hard color to work with, but just look how beautiful this ink blends. Absolutely, that's just an imperfection in my paper. Absolutely beautiful. And I think what I do like about this, you don't get those harsh lines that you sometimes get, you know, when you're working with a more blendable or water soluble ink, because this actually just sits where it is placed. Just look at that. Isn't that beautiful? And as I mentioned, you will not contaminate your pads. Obviously, I've got lots of blue on here, so I need to just get rid of that. Can you see how it is just lightening up? Just look at that. Okay, so I think it's absolutely gorgeous. I might just continue in this fashion and make a quick card. Why not? Let's get a little bit of the cobalt in there again. I actually must say that sometimes I do miss just playing around, you know, because it's very relaxing. It's like fussy cutting. Fussy cutting, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect, but it is relaxing. So there we go. Just going to close these up. Going to get a little trimmer. I'm going to trim so I can give this card to someone that is maybe going on holiday, that is cut terribly skew. So it's not the trimmer, it is the trimmer operator. I might just distress those edges. Okay, so I think I'm going to put that there. I'm going to grab my big guillotine here, just get a measurement. So we've got, what, about 3, let's say 4 inches by 4.5. So I want to go there for 4.5 by 4. Does say, and I'm going to, oh, that is very pretty. Okay, so I do think I like the dark edge, so I'm just going to go around my blended piece here and simply give it a little bit of an edge. And then I need to find a sentiment, but once again I think I've got some leftovers here from the Kit Club. I think I want to raise this a little bit, so a little bit unconventional there. Where's my trimmer? So I want to do that about 3.75. Okay, that's enough. Oh no, lie, that's the big one. Okay, so that's going to be 3.25 and cut that off there. Okay, just so that I have some dimension. And for this edge, I think I'm going to go with the purple. So you can always have your Colton roll here, because I do think I want, although maybe I must go for the teal. Okay, so let's quickly see. Yes, I think that's a good color. I'm going to blend those edges in. that? Oh yes, I like that. Okay. And then of course I've got to add my, so if you don't have chipboard, oh sorry about that. Okay, so if you don't have chipboard, you can just there we go, and I'm quickly going to look for a sentiment. Okay, so I have all these words left over from the Kit Club from August, and what I want to do is I want to create like a little raised adventure, because see, that's like crossing the ocean. So if you know of someone that is blessed enough to go on a trip, and I think I just messed that up, not completely, okay, you can of course give them a card that will say adventure, and nothing like having a good rugged pair of scissors for mishaps like these. You know, I have been doing this for a very long time, and I always used to say to the ladies who came to classes, this is supposed to be fun, okay? So it's not supposed to be stressful. It's not supposed to cause you tears and stress and worry. You are just supposed to be able to enjoy this. And if you don't enjoy this, then you should find another hobby, because if this is going to add stress to your life, and if this is going to cause you to become like a, I don't know, some kind of, I'm always stressed about my Scrabble stuff, and if you cut a piece of paper skew, you're going to be upset with the whole family, then really that is not, I mean, maybe that is okay for you, but I don't think that that is what we should be doing. We should just be enjoying this. So then you can go and you can just add all kinds of fun little things. Oh, I do like that. Okay, but then it's going to kill the boat. So as you can see, that can be a topper for a gift box, a chocolate, a card. I can just put a card base onto this. And there you go. A beautiful, quick and easy stamped and blended card front, whatever you want to call it, or even an embellishment for a scrapbook page or a journal, okay, using these fantastic archival inks.